G'day folks, Jim Langlands here from FX Charts with the currency outlook for the Finance News Network for Friday the 26th of October. Well, it was sterling that was really the star of the show today. We had a better GDP number come out of the UK, a 1% rise, taking the UK back out of recession, albeit the fact that it is probably a one-off figure given the support for the number driven by the Olympics. But sterling rose strongly in what was an otherwise fairly uninspiring session, really. The other notable was the yen weakness. Dollar yen got back above 80, drove up to 80.30, taking out the export sellers lined up between 80 the figure and 80.10. And late in the session we've had Amazon report third quarter data. It showed a third quarter loss actually, so that's taken the wind out of the risk trade and has caused most currencies to trade roughly on their session lows against the dollar. So we've got the euro at the moment at 129.30. It got up to 130.20 earlier in the session, but it's come back off and now sits pretty much on its lows. Dollar yen hasn't done a lot, having got up to 80.30. It's currently sitting just below there at 80.25. Not doing an awful lot at the moment. Cable that's at 161.20 right now, and the dollar Swiss is at 93.5. The Aussie that got up to 103.95, I think it was. As the risk currencies came back off, that's come down to its session lows. It's trading around 103.40 at the moment, where the 200-day moving average is, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it sit around there for much of the session. The Kiwi, that's taken a bit of a dive. It was up at 82.25, but it's come back to 81.65 at the moment, sitting on its session lows once again. Today's highlight, there's not an awful lot out of Europe or Asia, but we get the US GDP later on in the session, and that will provide the volatility for the day, but otherwise it looks a pretty uninspiring session going into the weekend. That's really about it for today. So if you do want a more comprehensive outlook on the markets, go to the website as usual, www.fxcharts.com.au. And that aside, please just remember that any outlook mentioned here is a personal view only, not intended to be used as trading advice. So that's all for today, all for the week. Have a very good one, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Cheers.